Okay, sorry. So this is part two of who I am. I actually wrote down what I need to talk about tonight. I'm sorry for the video quality. Um, I think it has to do with the computers. That computer over there is much newer, and it appears to be able to process video at much higher resolution, even though they're exactly the same little Logitech cameras. Strangely enough, over there it's clearer than here, but nonetheless, you can see who I am. The standard definition, that's probably high definition, I don't know. Um, so basically, the three areas I want to talk about, I'm going to finish talking about who I am now. I want to talk about why this will work, because that's actually kind of important. And then finally, I want to sit there and talk about my dream company. If I'm gonna end up being the CEO of this company, then I have certain ideas about how I want it to be run. Um, but there's also so great. We'll get to that in a minute. Some important stuff. You need to know who I am. I'm from California, so everybody who's out there who looks at things in their own particular way, that's fine. I'm a Californian. You need to understand that I play the game in a particular way. I I believe in fairness. I'm old-fashioned. Oh my God, I'm so old-fashioned. At the same time, I'm California, which means that I'm also extremely liberal in my views on personal freedoms. Okay? Um, I believe that people have the right to live their lives as they want as long as they're not necessarily interfering or ruining other people's lives. Do you see what I'm saying? You can do whatever you want in the privacy of your own home with whomever you want, provided you're not doing something grossly illegal. Okay? Adults, consenting adults who have the mental capacity or the age and the ability to make informed decisions, you have the right to do whatever you want with whomever you want. That's the way I play the game. Okay? For those individuals out there who seem to think that the fact that you belong to one particular group or specifically religion, and that gives you the right to tell other people how to live their lives because you think you are right because of your religious background, I disagree with you. I have that right. I disagree with you. Um, to be honest, I'm very concerned about religion. There's a lot of good when people are being good, when people are taking the best tenets of a religion and living by those, great. But when you use religion as an excuse for bigotry, exclusion of others, to sit there and say, well, I'm this, you're that, okay? Therefore, your opinion does not matter. You have to do things the way I say because I'm right, because God told me so. Whoa, hold on. I'm sorry. No, okay? That's not the way the modern world is or should be. If you disagree with me, that's fine. You don't have to give me your money. You don't have to sit there and invest in the People's Petrol token. The People's Petrol token is about helping the average citizen. It is about the concept that when we are powerless, when we are the little people, and we are being oppressed by the big oil companies, and that's what's happening right now. We're effectively being oppressed. We're being ripped off because they know they have us over a barrel. That ticks me off. That really rubs me the wrong way because there has to be a certain amount of justice in the world. There has to be a certain amount of no, we little people have the right to stand up and fight. Now, in a democracy, boy, I just realized I'm going to get on my soapbox now. In a democracy, we do that by voting. We choose one party over the other. I live in Australia. Guess what, people? In this country, in Australia, where's the thing? There, there you go. In this country, um, God, that's so annoying. I'm never gonna do that again. Sorry. In this country, in Australia, you must vote. Everyone in the United States sits there and says, "Oh, da, 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 this country, this company, sorry, not this company, this political party, this political party." Just make voting compulsory. Problem solved. If you really want to know what the will of the people is, force, it's a democracy. If you want to live in a democracy, you have to accept certain inconveniences. Force the people to vote. You are a citizen. You are above the age of 18. Congratulations. Go vote. It works in Australia. It's totally doable. It's totally doable. I go to the local high school. I go to the local school. Okay, they run it from like God knows 7 in the morning till 7 at night. You can early vote, you can pre-vote, you can vote a whole week in advance if you can't make it on the Saturday when it's usually held open. Go and vote. Let your voice be heard. Once everyone's voice is counted and the clear majority is shown, a lot of the problems in the United States will go away because people get to stay in office because they have the ability to, what's the word, use that office to garner support for themselves. Okay? You're a public figure, you get out there, you're visual, people see you, you get to stay in office. It tends to be that the incumbent stays incumbent. You always wonder, how is it these people are possible that they stayed in Congress or they stayed in the Senate for 25 years? Human, I don't want to say lethargy, inertia. It's just, yeah, it's too much work. Okay? But if you're forced to vote, when all the people are forced to vote, their opinions are truly heard. Do you think that the United States would still have guns in the hands of private citizens if someone were to put a national referendum on the table right now that every citizen had to vote for, whether or not guns should be held by private persons? No. The United States has the Second Amendment to the Constitution. For those people who don't understand this, I'm sure you all do. Boy, I'm really telling you who I am now, aren't I? Um, I lived in the United States, didn't own a gun until I was taking police classes. Never owned a gun till I was in my 30s. And I was taking my first police classes that required me to own a gun as part of the training. Sold the gun back to the gun company, so to the gun shop. They had a really good rule, 50% return policy. If you buy a gun from us, we guarantee we will give you 50% back if you return the gun to us. I was like, okay, it's too much work. I didn't need it. I finished the class. Cool, great. Here you go. Here's the gun back. Got my 50% back. Nevertheless, guns. Sorry. In Australia, we don't have guns. Okay? That's what I'm telling you people. All you people out there who are like, and I don't want to do the accent, so I'm not going to. Bunch of people who honestly believe that they should have a gun, and I literally had people tell me this, in case the government suddenly decides to do overreach. Really? You think that you personally are going to be able to beat the SWAT team who is going to show up at your house? No. The, all right, I'm sorry. I'm not going to get into this. I just realized I've just gone down a serious rabbit hole. That's not who I am. I believe in personal liberties. I believe in personal freedoms. I do not believe, and most people I think agree with me, that it is appropriate that a law that was made in 1787, when firearms were literally muzzle loading, and it took like a good 30 seconds to a minute to reload between shots, and the Second Amendment very clearly says, oh God, I don't believe I'm going to say this. I gotta pause this to be able to say this. Okay, so a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Hello, they had just gone through a war with the most powerful nation on earth, Great Britain, the most powerful empire on earth of which they had been a part, and they didn't really have the money for a standing army. So, yes, it makes perfect sense for the government to sit there at that point, say, yes, please have guns. Yes, it is in our best interest. If we want to survive as a nation, we need all our, let's be honest, white male citizens to be armed so that we can instantly call them up. It wasn't a case of like the government had massive stores of weapons. It did not. They needed the individuals to own their own guns and bring their own guns to the fight. The Minutemen had been basically everybody had been showing up with their own guns. Come on, guys. Come on. This is Australia. I live in Australia. We don't have guns. I probably am not going to upload this video now because I just realized I've like totally turned off half of America. Sorry, guys. But if you live outside the United States long enough, you start to realize that certain things that our Americans hold absolutely true and dear are wrong. I love the United States. I'm a Yank. Do I sound like an Aussie? I've been here 20 years. Have I changed? No. But the concept of public health care and the concept of every citizen being able to own a gun, those two are wrong. In Australia, when I got an appendicitis and I drove myself to the hospital at 11 a.m., apparently I have a pretty high tolerance for pain. Ouch! They wheeled me into surgery at 11 p.m. and saved my life. 11 p.m. Do you know how expensive it would be to basically call in doctors, everything, the anesthesiology, everybody at 11 p.m.? They were like, no, he can't wait. This individual is going to die. His appendix has already burst because he's an idiot and he waited too long. That's me. They're like, if we don't do this now, he's going to die. So I was wheeled into surgery at 11 p.m. at night. They were probably operating on me until midnight or 1 in the morning. They saved my life here. And you know how much that cost me? $0. This country has it right. Healthcare should be free. The United States, lovely country that it is, has got it wrong. I love you guys. I really do. All you Americans. No. No. We've got certain things wrong. Healthcare should be free in the United States. Medicines you should still pay for, but they should be cheap as anything. Cheap as chips, as those Aussies would say. I'm about 15 minutes. Oh, I gotta watch this video. Oh God, I've probably offended just about everybody, and I'm sorry. But this is who I am. You should have an understanding of who I am. I'll make a decision about whether or not I'm going to put this up in a minute. If I do, it's because I'm going to sit there and say, I want people who think like me to invest in the People's Petrol token. Okay? I think of myself as a good man, and I want good people coming on board with me. Okay, I'm going to review this now. We'll see.